Sorry. That's so rude.
Did anybody else hear that?
Right. Are you feeling calm? I feel calm.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dogs and cats? It is Luce, and today I'm joined by Abs Fitness UK. It's been a year and a month since she's been on my channel, guys.
A lot has changed.
Let's get the gin. I asked all of you beautiful people to just ask me questions on Instagram because I feel like everybody needs a little bit of support right now. So we're gonna try our best to answer all of your questions. First of all, we're not registered therapists. No. There are probably a lot of things that you guys are feeling that we have never experienced ourselves, so we'll try our best to answer them, but disclaimer, don't at me. So just to update you guys, in case you've been living under a rock, we have been hit by a pandemic of coronavirus, and the whole world has kind of gone into pandemonium, and it's a bit hard to process, to be honest. Me and Ab still really don't know what's going on. Like, we went around the shops and literally there wasn't any vegetables.
We were just looking at each other the whole time like, what the fuck is
happening?
happening?
We feel like we're living in a film.
Yeah.
Or that just
it's
like
waiting
an apocalypse.
to wake up and be like, ah.
And I also think what the hard thing about this is that our parents haven't gone through it and our grandparents haven't gone through it, so nobody knows really what to do. So it is a really scary and uncertain time. So Mount View, obviously where we go to school, got closed down yesterday, and we are now in quarantine till
end of April. But then again, saying that, my flight from Glasgow at the end of April that was going to get me from Glasgow to London to start the summer term, that was cancelled today. And
other drama schools have announced that their summer term has been cancelled. Nobody knows when we're going to be back. There are loads of international students and people who live in other countries, and they've all straight away flown back to their families, and I think it's really scary because we're kind of thinking, well, does that mean we should go back? It's that thing where like everybody's doing stuff, so even though you haven't like considered it before, don't think you should, it makes you think you should, which is what this whole like stock buying toilet roll and like hand sanitizer and stuff has come from, because as soon as one person starts doing it, you freak out.
When I went to the shops last weekend, I felt so fine, and I was like, I'm not gonna let this make me like bulk buy. I bulk bought. But it's because everyone else's, I felt like there was like not a lot of stuff left, and like everyone else's trolleys were so full, and it's like they'll just come in and restock the next day. It's not an issue. Yeah. But everyone else freaking out makes you freak out, so then you add to the whole hysteria.
Seeing loads of pictures of the elderly going around the shops and there's nothing on the shelves. It's selfishness of people who have things but are buying so much in excess because they're worried. It's like, but there are people who can't get to the shops more than once a week because they have mobility scooters or they have carers and they can't get to the shops, and then by the time they have, there's nothing there, and that's heartbreaking. So anyway, now we've caught you up with what the hell's going on. So someone has a fear of falling out of shape while out of dance and can't get to the gym. So I'm assuming they're at like a drama school or a dance school like we are.
I feel you. I would just never underestimate home workouts. I have been obsessed over the last few days looking at all these different home workouts, and there's so many on YouTube, like free. You do not need to be going out and buying all these like different plans and spending money. It can be really hard to motivate yourself though, and I do get that, but what I've done is written out a plan.
It's a good ass plan as well.
Because I cannot not do anything during this time, because I just have all this energy that I feel like I need to like, get rid of or put somewhere.
Also, I feel like you did, you put gym stuff at the same time every day.
Yeah.
And it's that like building up a habit.
Yeah. If
you do stuff at the same time, you'll just be like, right, it's gym time. Favourite fitness Instagrammers that do good home workouts?
Alice Living,
Megan Grubb,
Chrissy Sela,
Desby _
Chloe Tang. Love her ab workout. I do that every day of my life.
Morgana Rose Mooney. It's really hard, that uncertainty, one of not knowing when you're going to be back, but also not knowing what to do. And what was so lovely is Abs asked me literally last week, what's one thing that you've always wanted to do that you've never felt you had the time to do? And I feel like that's such a good question to ask yourself, because it kind of shows you how much you can do with your time, because it's really hard to think of just one thing. You could learn an instrument, you could write poetry, you know.
can do anything in this time. You can honestly do anything. And when in your life have you ever had this opportunity?
Feeling deflated about having put in so much work for the end of term that now won't be seen. If anybody gets this, it's us. because we were just in the middle of putting on a show of Henry V, and this was my lead role of the year, and it was Shakespeare, and it's the first time most of us had done a Shakespeare performance.
And we really felt like we were getting the nitty gritty, really getting into it.
Yeah, and we had such a good director, and we've just learnt about so much Shakespeare this term, and the school had made provisions for if we did close for teachers to come in and mark us, even though we were halfway through the process and didn't really have much of a performance, just so that they could have something to mark us on. And then the school closed the day before we were going to be assessed. Everything was cut off. We didn't even get to see our director and say goodbye.
It's so deflating, but you're also not alone in this.
Also, just because it's this like abrupt, weird ending to all of the stuff you've been doing, you know, A-levels, exams, all of that stuff has all been cancelled as well. This doesn't mean that that work has to stop. If you have a passion about it and you're upset that it can't be seen, then keep going with it, because like with us, we can still keep learning Shakespeare and doing loads of exercises with the text, and then we can then use that for the next stuff that we do. And it's okay to feel anxious and scared about it, because we all are. Even if people aren't showing it, like everybody is really scared, because nobody knows what's gonna happen.
Get off your phone. I have dedicated in my plan 2 hours a day, and it seems ridiculous that I cannot go 2 hours a day and not on my phone.
It doesn't, because everybody's the same.
Because even like to check the time, I'm like, Abby, you're reading a watch, like you don't need to look at your phone. I was at the shops the other day and I was doing like a sum, and I was like 14 minus 7. Like, are you serious? But it's just like habit. You just get your phone out.
Use this time to get rid of that addiction. Socialising is the only way that keeps my mind away from the bad thoughts. Coping with that.
During this time, you can still socialise. There's still so many ways. My friend Bella is in isolation in Bermuda at the minute, and we've been FaceTiming. There's ways to like watch Netflix shows together, like do games online, but also use this time to get to know yourself as well. Because a lot of us don't like being alone and by ourselves.
Work out what makes you happy, whether it be reading, whether it be singing, whether it be, you know,
stuff for you.
I think it's really underestimated how important it is to know kind of what makes you as a person tick. You know, I know for sure that if I sing, all my problems are gone. Even if I was the worst singer in the world, just the feeling I get when I sing is just like nothing else. It's so cathartic for me. But then also alternatively, like going to the gym, I know you can't do that right now, but home workouts and stuff, that also, you know, gets all my endorphins up and makes me feel really good. So it's just working out what those things are that make you feel good. A lot of people say that they really don't get on with their families or their siblings, but I think if that's the case for you, now's the time to reconnect with these people and just like try and work out what you guys have in common, spend more quality time together doing things that you wouldn't normally do because no one has the time. How to try and not worry or be concerned about money and the family income. Hard as it is to believe, the government aren't just gonna let every single person in the country go into ruin. I don't know how we're gonna get out of it, but you've just got to trust that everybody is in this situation. So let's actually just take a moment for all the medics and the NHS right now who are working their asses off and literally risking their lives and their entire family's lives.
I've seen lots from my dad, who's a GP at the moment, on the front line. Super proud to be dad. The amount of hours and things that people are having, and the situation some of the NHS workers are being put in is it's crazy. Like, they've never seen anything like this. And I think there is a real comfort in knowing that everybody else is going through it. So just talk to your friends and talk to your family about it, because communication is the most important thing we can do in these times. How to adapt with the changes that are happening and things to do to reduce anxiety on the virus. It's hard because it's constantly changing every single day, but I think one thing really important is to not speculate and try and double guess what's going to happen. There are so many people that I know that we know that have been going around saying, oh, I think this is going to happen, I think this is going to happen, this is going to happen then, when we don't actually know because we haven't been told and we haven't been given the information. All these different news things, articles come up on my Facebook and Instagram, whether I should or not, I don't know, but I look at BBC News for my information, and that is where I will get my solid facts. You get into this cycle, and if you start reading everything that you see, which I started doing, and I then became a anxious wreck, and I was like going into uni, and I was like, I feel like I can't breathe and the world is ending. It's so overwhelming hearing all of these different things all at once. I look at The Guardian, like with limiting the time that you spend on your phone, limit the amount of times that you look at the media and you watch the news, because oh my god,
if you're just constantly looking and reading, of course it's going to be overwhelming because you're going to be seeing so many different things. I'm not surprised lots of people feel that they can't go outside, because it makes you feel like
if you go outside you're gonna die.
Everyone having heard things from different family members and their like rat's brother's cousin had said this, and so this is gonna happen, and it's just like trying to just block out all the speculations and only coming to grips with what's happening when it has happened. Things to do to reduce anxiety on the virus. Know that this is the best thing that has ever happened for our environment right now.
The canals in Italy, China's like seeing blue sky.
Maybe this was the world's way of kicking back.
Yeah, and just being like, you need a rest. I saw this thing the other day and it was like, Mother Nature feels like we've poisoned her lungs, so she's poisoning ours. And it's so deep. Oh my god, no, it's so deep and like so horrible. But it's also really sad that it's taken this for the pollution in China to become less, for us to be able to see the bottom of the canals in
and
Venice.
For us to just be able to breathe and take time for ourselves. I feel like this is also the world's way of saying you guys need to start looking after yourself more than you are, because I think everybody taking this time off out of their daily lives and just not even having anything to work towards, it just makes you realize what life means to you and how you want to live without any of these external social pressures. I just think in a way that there could be something really beautiful that comes from having this time alone. How to deal with being indoors for long periods of time with mental health.
Mental health, like managing the anxiety. Again, get off your phone. I don't have anxiety, but I'm a very anxious person. I had to get off my phone, definitely. Make a plan. You're not in uni or school, but imagine that you are, because you're in that routine.
Yeah, because I feel like it could be easy with this for everyone to just like stay in bed, eat all day,
whatever you want, plan out what you're like eating. And also it was so nice today, I planned out my whole day. Now I can look back on it and see what I've done. So it's like,
and ticking off.
Yeah, like I achieved that today, instead of being like, oh, like where has my day gone?
Will they cancel my Mount View recall? I was so excited and now it might not happen.
Mount View are such an amazing drama school. They will sort you right out, so you're not alone in all of this.
We're constantly getting emails from them saying, please keep us all updated with your health. They are sending us an email every day about washing our hands. So they are all there working as hard as they can to keep things going for us all. They will make sure you get seen. Best revision organisation to do to get prepared for schools reopening. Obviously no one knows when you're going to go back and what you're going to be doing when you go back. So I think it's just like not letting your brain die and just like do stuff that interests you. So don't worry about the curriculum or what you're currently learning. If you're doing history and you don't like what you're doing in history at school, but there's something about history that really excites you, and then start researching it, because all of these tools and all of these facts are going to come in useful at some point. Whole lot of history. Not eating when you're bored. I have been really good at eating clean and I'm struggling not to. Oh honey, me too. I have Ben & Jerry's in the freezer that I ate. I've already eaten 3/4 of it within one day. I've eaten a whole Cadbury slab of Marvelous Creations in one day. I've eaten a whole pack of white chocolate Smartie buttons in one day. They're so good. I have eaten so unhealthily. We are all in the same position.
It is literally, it is fine to get out of it though.
Yeah, I think. Meal planning, workouts.
When your mind is in a better place, you eat, well certainly when my mind's in a better place, I eat a lot better. I had a really bad eating day the other day, and it's because I was so anxious about COVID-19 and everything that I was seeing online. I was like sweets, crisps, chocolate, and then I was sitting in my bed like eating. I was like, I feel even more rubbish. If up here is doing okay, then down here. But also, eat the chocolate.
Yeah.
As well. What my mum says, everything in moderation.
This may not work for you, but it works for me. The thought that everybody else is going to be overeating and eating all the shit, that motivates me to get really fit and then come back after the quarantine and be like, what's that bitches? That kind of motivates me because I'm quite a competitive person. Well, I'm not competitive, but I like to...
Have we challenges?
Yeah, I like to challenge myself.
We will all be okay.
Yeah, we will all be okay. This is a time for kindness and rediscovery and reinvention.
This is a time for a glow up, guys.
Yeah.
We will have all found ourselves.
We love you all so much. Please comment below if you still have any worries or concerns. I'm always here. Abs Fitness UK is always here.
Always open.
If you think you're being silly, you're not. We're all gonna get through this together. My content is gonna glow up as well, because
I'm so excited.
Yeah, that's something that I've never been able to properly spend as much time on it as I would want to because of my training at Mount View. So this is my time to glow up my YouTube. YouTube, so you guys better subscribe and be watching and like all my videos and do all the things, because I am hustling right here. Get ready for the workouts, get ready for the baking videos, get ready for all the isolation tips. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you very soon with a new, very exciting video. Bye! Crafted into pieces.